everyone, welcome to LexTalk World Talk Show presented by Clickaway Creators. Today we have Mr. Ashish Gurav with us. Mr. Gurav is an advocate with a civil engineering background along with post-graduation in management with specialization in finance. Thus, he has a unique combination of techno-commercial-legal expertise in the field of construction law. He has over 28 years of experience in the field of construction law and he has also handled over 65 major infrastructure projects in India and abroad till date. With his unique combination of expertise and experience, he has an independent practice and advises major construction companies in India on risk analysis, contracts drafting, contracts administration, claims identification, and as well as on delay analysis. Mr. Gurav also handles arbitration matters pertaining to the construction law with an inviable success record till date. He has handled matters pertaining to transportation, irrigation, power, real estate, mining, medical facilities, you name it, and few other landmark projects in India as well. I have a lot to talk about him, as you can say. I mean, you can already notice. But without any further ado, let me just introduce you to the man himself. Hello, Mr. Gurav. How are you?
Namaskar.
Namaskar, sir. How are you?
Fine.
Lovely. We're really, with the introduction, it's quite evident, you have 8 years of experience, and we really would want to know about your journey as a legal professional, how it has been.
Yeah. Basically, I am a civil engineer. After graduating from civil engineering, I did my master's in management with specialization in finance. However, I chose to remain in my core sector, that is civil engineering, and chose construction as a field of working. While going into construction with my unique background of being a management graduate, postgraduate, I was exposed to the world of commercial contract management, which included contract drafting, negotiations with vendors, and contract administration. And as you have it, the obvious fallout was handling construction related disputes. Quite early in my career, I have been handling construction disputes, contract administration, and assisting quite a number of senior counsels, experts in this field on the issue of construction. Slowly, I realized that many a times it happens so that construction related disputes are unique in nature. And if I have a law background, I would be more better able to handle it. And that's why at the age of 40, I did my law. I did my LLB as well as my master's in law, having specialization in corporate finance. For the past 28 years, I've been working in this field, handling a lot of construction related issues, right from tender analysis, risk analysis, to advising corporates on the strategies, also advising on how the contract is to be administered, how to safeguard your risks, manage your obligations, and construction disputes in arbitration, mediation, conciliation. So being an advocate since last 10 years, I've been handling arbitrations on my own, restricted to the construction law. That's my background.
So in your introduction, Ashish, we were talking about your unique combination of expertise, technology, finance, and everything put together. So how do you think that it sets you apart from other arbitrators or lawyers? I mean,
see, construction per se is a very complex field in which the projects are very unique. They have a long gestation period. There are a lot of stakeholders. There is a lot of unorganized sector involved. So when anybody deals with a dispute or a case related to construction law, there is obviously construction engineering involved. The unique facets of that field are also included in the dispute. And if you are a non-technical person, understanding the technical issues become very difficult. And a lawyer may be able to understand from his intellect what are the issues. However, his understanding is limited to the briefing given to him by the client. So if the briefing is inadequate, the lawyer also gets inadequate information, and that affects the presentation of the case. In my case, since I have a background of engineering, the briefing required is quite minimal. I understand the issues from my own experience because I have worked in the field. I have actually worked on sites on mega infrastructure projects. So briefing is not required. I understand the dispute very well, the cause of the dispute, the background of the dispute. And when it comes to explaining the dispute to non-technical persons like judges who are arbitrators, I can explain to them in a language which they understand, which is a legal language. So a unique mix of technical and legal can be presented to them. If they have any queries which can come at the spur of the moment, I need not have to take time to ask my client. I can answer them from my own knowledge and experience. So this is the uniqueness which I feel is quite rare in this field. As per my understanding, there are very few people who have this combination of engineering and law together, as well as including the finance part of it, because today construction projects have become quite unique in the sense they are private funded with debt and equity. So understanding the nitty-gritties of finance is also important when you are presenting a case related to a build, operate, transport, or transfer, or a project where there is a public-private partnership, which includes funding from outside. So this unique combination of technical, financial, as well as legal background sets people like me apart from the normal lawyers. And that is what I feel.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us, Ashish. At the same time, like, can you also share any complex case like this if you've handled? I'm sure.
Yeah, 28 years is a long time, and I consider each case as a unique, each case has its own complexities. But sometimes you really have to think out of the box. And one of the experiences I can share with you, where I had a case where the documentary evidence was inadequate. The client who had got the case had not done the documentary evidence properly for some whatever reasons, and we were not able to prove the cause of action, the reason for the dispute quite adequately based on the documents that were available or even the oral witness. And it was very difficult to convince the arbitrators that this is really the case, injustice has taken place. And there we suddenly came up with an idea where we took the entire arbitral tribunal on the site where the work had taken place, and where the cause of action, the hindrances which were affecting the work, which prevented the contract from being executed, from being performed, were still existing. And we could show them firsthand that this is the reason why the contract could not be performed. And the arbitrators were quite convinced because they saw with their own eyes, and it was a first-hand evidence. So sometimes things like this have also to be done, where you have to think out of the box, look for innovative solutions, and see to it that the case is well presented.
Thank you so much. I'm sure it is very difficult to find out, like, just one case, because I'm sure you must have handled a lot of them. But thank you so much for sharing that with us, Mr. Gurav. Now, how has like arbitration changed according to you in like recent times, especially with COVID, and like basically like the pandemic has actually changed a lot of things in the legal industry and in other industries as well. But how do you think it has changed like arbitration? What has
Yeah.
been like the major impact?
Arbitration per se has changed a lot in India in the last 3, 4 years, even before COVID, where amendments have been done to the act. There is a conscious effort from the legislature as well as the judiciary to make India the international hub for arbitration. And accordingly, some changes have been made in the act, where a lot of things have been brought in, such as constraints on the time, on the cost, all this kind of thing. These changes are taking place. I see a definite leaning towards institutional arbitration, which is quite welcome in a country like India, where only ad hoc arbitration was the norm. With the COVID has also brought in a lot of changes in arbitration, where now traveling and having physical hearings is not possible because of the COVID, and this has led us to increasing use of technology in arbitration and in courts also. The courts are also opening up to technology now, which is I would say, a boon which COVID has given us. And now the hearings are held virtually, which is quite time saving, cost saving. Now we don't have to travel, the lawyers and the entire team doesn't have to travel to a specific venue for arbitration. You can have arbitration at your own office or home, wherever you want it. And even the time diaries of the lawyers have been quite changed because of COVID, wherein earlier, when you have to go to a center for arbitration, the entire day gets blocked, whereas now you can definitely have much more time on your schedule. So time has been freed. So a lot of changes have taken place due to COVID, and it has more given us more freedom, I would say, to do arbitrations.
That was quite an insight. Thank you so much for sharing that with us, Mr. Gurav. I'm sure you have given us like a different perspective of it altogether. Um, Unfortunately, we are coming to an end of this amazing conversation. But before I let you go, just wanted to know what exactly is one thing that you have, like you basically thought that this is something that makes you successful in your career. Is there something that you have like you have completely followed through and through? And at the same time, if you would like to reveal the plans for the future as well.
Yeah. Regarding the success mantras, if you want to say, it would be one or two mantras which I would definitely like to share with my colleagues and the young people who are entering this field. The first one is to work with passion. Unless you have a passion for your work, you cannot succeed. Second is, there is no shortcut to success. You have to work hard. You have to continuously upgrade yourself, be in terms with the technology, with the knowledge, with the information that's coming in. And third thing is, always give value for money. Whatever you do, you ensure that your client gets value for money. So that, in short, I would say the success mantra. As regards my plans for the future, I am planning to go international with the expertise that I have, and try to get into the international scenario where uh, things like delay analysis or construction related disputes can be handled with my experience in this field for the past 28 years. Also, I plan to create awareness towards contract administration and dispute avoidance rather than dispute resolution. Because if we have a contract administration properly and a documentation properly and try to settle issues through other means like ADR of conciliation, mediation, there it is better, more cost saving, and no damaging of relationships. If you have the documentation properly, it is easier for you to convince the case, and dispute avoidance is definitely better than dispute resolution. And finally, I would like to get involved more and more into the training of people, creating an awareness of contract administration as well as this alternate dispute resolution, because quite a few people do not really have an idea what is ADR and how it is beneficial to them. So these are my plans for the future.
Thank you so much, Mr. Gurav, for sharing all amazing insights with us about different things. And I'm sure this interview, if whenever, whoever is going to watch this interview is going to learn a lot from it, consume, from your experience and expertise at the same time. We have already come to an end of this interview, but I'm really looking forward to some more chats like these on some other trending topics in the legal space. And for our future, if you like this chat with Mr. Gurav, please like and share this video, and do not forget to subscribe to ClickAway Creators YouTube channel to kind of appreciate what we do, and you have more coming from industry legal leaders like Mr. Ashish Gurav himself. Thank you. Thank you so much, Ashish.
Thank you.
Till then, please take care, stay safe. This is Bharti for LexTalk signing off.